Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Brennan Kavalakis. This is Hold My Game. Um, this is Grim Dawn. That's the game we're playing. And this is going to be my Alkamos Executioner build. Someone was very kind enough to trade me one of my, I gave away one of my Aldrich's Decrees for, the Touch of Anguish that you see there, and someone gave me a Touch of Dread for free. And I got the scythe from a friend, I can't remember who gave it to me. But anyway, starting off with skills and then gear, then I'll show you the devotion tree, but it'll be in the description down below as always. Okay, going into skills. One into Veil of Shadow, I don't think you need any more than that. You want to put at least a few into Night's Chill. I did whatever I had left over, so whatever you have left over. You want to put a few into here as well. I'm just gonna check one thing real quick. I have +4 into Nightblade skill, so I put 8 into here, 8 into here, and I maxed out Elemental Awakening, and I put 6 into here. I'm sorry, give me a second, so I have 4, so I put 3 into here. I maxed out Phantasmal Armor to give me a ton of armor, and the set bonus from the rings and everything else, it gives a lot of armor, and I think it's helpful. I needed the pierce resistance anyway. Reduced freeze duration is also very useful. And Anatomy of Murder, just 1 point is all you're gonna need. It gives you a nice cunning boost, and everything else doesn't really matter. Damage to humans is just a cherry on top. 1 into Merciless Repertoire, however you pronounce it, Repertoire. Anyway, to give you a little bit of extra cold damage, and frostburn damage doesn't really help, but it's there. Reason why I went this far into the tree is just for Elemental Awakening, and it really does boost your damage, as you'll see in just a few minutes, or a minute or two, whatever. 1 into Ring of Steel, don't need any more of that, and put it into the modifier Ring of Frost, for using targets for a few seconds. And it's good for crowd control. 1 into Shadow Strike, 1 into Nadala's Justifiable Ends, to reduce the cooldown by half a second. And moving on into Arcanist, I maxed out Escandra's Elemental Exchange, Overload, and I put a few points into Elemental Balance. I think I put like 11 into there, or 12. I think I put 12 into there, because maxing it out wasn't too important to me. I put 12, I remember I put 12. 1 into there, max out Maven Spirit Protection. If it doesn't go to 13 out of 12, then you have a -8% damage debuff instead of -7%, so I thought it was really useful. 1 into Conversion, I don't think you need any more than that. I never see any builds do more than 1 point anyway, and I never do more than 1 point. You want to put 11 into Alexor's Flash Freeze, and 1 into Absolute Zero. You want to put 11 into Inner Focus, so it'll just max out with the blue. You want to put 1 into Arcane Will, 1 into Nullification, and max out Star Pact for that cooldown reduction, and cold damage and frostburn damage, and physical damage converted to cold, which is just multiplied by the skill tree and everything else. Moving on into devotions. I opted out of getting Leviathan, even though it's really good for cold damage, because I couldn't just fit the points into getting it. Even with the extra 5 points that we would get from the expansion, I would not be able to get it. I opted out of it to go a little bit more defensive-wise, since as you know, a Spellbreaker is pretty squishy. Kraken, of course, is pretty obvious to get. Solemn Watcher, I like it. It's a lot of defensive ability and reflected damage reduction, which is very nice against the stupid reflex that just hurts so much. Chariot of the Dead and Viper are really good for offensive ability, and Behemoth is very good for survivability, as is Empty Throne is really good for survivability, giving you a nice stun duration reduction. And Hawk is good for offensive ability, crit damage, and a little bit more offensive ability. Reason why I put one into Crane, I know someone's gonna ask this, is because, well, I just needed about like 8 Spirit, and that was to equip the chest piece, which I'll go over in just a second. So, if you can find an alternate way of getting that little bit of Spirit, I would put another point into Dryad to get a little bit more health and energy regen. But anyway, going into gear, we have Soul Rend. Can't do a Soul Rend Alkamos Executioner build without it. Gives you Dread Ice, that's the granted skills that it gives. 30% chance on critical attacks, and we do a lot of critical attacks. And our critical damage is quite high. Yeah, 83% boost. And 2.13 attacks per second. That's pretty fast for a two-hander, I think. It gives 2 to Phantasmal Armor and 2 to Nightblade, so that's 4 into the Phantasmal Armor. Plus the 4 that you get here, so that's 8. Plus the 4 that you get to Elemental Awakening, plus the 2 here, so that's 6 in total. And it just gets better and better, honestly, and this gives a huge amount of skill cooldown reduction. It's just a good scythe, and I like it. So I put a Shard of Baranath in it to, do our basic attack. Since the Nightblade and Arcanist lack a basic attack, like Cadence from the Soldier, or Savagery, I think it is, from the Shaman. I think it's Savagery, though I can't remember. Potent Creed's Cunning, I like it. It gives elemental damage, health, lots of it, good offensive ability, and nice energy regen, which we needed a little bit, of course. Let me see here, where's that energy regen? I'm not sure where the energy regen was placed. Anyway. Yeah, I'm not sure where it was placed. It might have changed, actually. No, never mind. Energy regeneration is 64. Wow, that's actually quite a bit. I didn't know it was that high. Anyway, moving on, we have the 2 Alkamos rings. That's Touch of Dread and Anguish, both with corpse dust on them. And all of the accessories have Mogdrag and Sanctity, that would be the 2 rings, and the amulet. Give me a second here, my mic is all messed up. Okay. Anyway, it gives you Execution and Shadow Dance. Who cares about Execution when you're doing a two-handed build? I don't know why that's even on there, honestly, but it gives total speed, elemental resistance by a lot, and it's really good, I like it. Alkamos' Touch of Anguish, can't do this build without it. Oh, and I forgot to mention the Dreadfire, chance on critical attack. Ring a Spectral Flame expands around you, crippling your foes, and it's really nice. Reduces their health, reduces their damage that they deal, does some nice Frostburn damage, some cold damage. Short cooldown too, 6-second duration with a 2-second skill recharge. You can always have that Knight's Embrace with Arcane Spark for more offensive ability and energy leech and energy regeneration. Reason why I chose it is because of 1-to-all skills in Nightblade. As you can see, we have a 91% cold res, which is really nice, and it's 123% over the maximum. Anyway, I like it, so anyway, moving on. Trozen set. We have most of the Trozen set except for the Star Keeper, of course. Reason being is because it gives a lot of cold damage, and it's very nice, I like it. So Trozens with Silk Swatch, Outcast Warding Powder. Ice Scorn, Mankind's Vigil, Unholy Inscription. Gives a nice Ice Nova, which is nice. It's like Alexa's Flash Freeze, except it has a much smaller radius by more than, it's about 2/3 smaller, a little bit more than that. Wraithwalkers for even more movement speed, well, just movement speed in general, and cold damage, Frostburn damage, Alexa's Flash Freeze, Calidor's Tempest. Who cares? Mark of Divinity, I like it. It's my favorite thing to use on almost every build. It gives lots of elemental resistances. And lots of health, which we need. Spellbreaker Wasteguard, I like it. Gives more skills to Nightblade, and gives crit damage and cold damage and everything else. So Anti-Venom Salve with Mankind's Vigil there. And I forgot to mention put a Black Tallow on there for the Chaos Resistance. And Mogdragon's, Arkham Mogdragon on there, and Mankind's Vigil. Stonehide Exalted Chauces of the Wolf, however you pronounce it. Gives you lots of physique and cunning, which is nice, and increases armor, pierce, poison and acid resistance, and bleeding resistance. Put an anti-venom salve and a Mankind's Vigil on it. And to finish it off, Trozen's Vestment, Chains of Oleron, Outcast Warding Powder. Moving on, we're going to go into the Crucible here. Reason being is because I like it. I think it'll be very good to show you and demonstrate the power of this build in the Crucible. So let's begin. Now, wait, before I begin, I just want to show you one thing. The reason why I maxed out Elemental Weakening, oh my god, Wakening, or Awakening? Which one is it? Elemental Awakening, not Wakening or Weakening, Jesus Christ. 19,000 damage per second, boom, 27,000. It gives lots of defensive ability, as you can see, very nice. Almost a 10k damage bonus, very good. Let's begin. I love that skill. Let me see here. Yeah, that has damage converted to health too, I forgot about that. I was wondering why I'm leeching so damn much. Yeah, there's that Ring of Dreadfire, really nice. I love that cha-ching, cha-ching. Lots of damage too, I like the build honestly, it's a lot of fun. If you're surrounded, use Ring of Steel and Alexa's Flash Freeze to get them off you. This is in the second difficulty setting, below Gladiator, because I don't think I could do Gladiator. As you can see, I'm taking a lot of damage already. Although I am a very careful person. Your standard rotation will be Shadow Striking into the enemy, and then bashing the crap out of them, using skills like Ring of Steel, Alexa's Flash Freeze to crowd control, usually Alexa's, and then Ring of Steel to do more damage. Make sure to keep up your Belgothian's Pneumatic Burst at all times. If not, then you won't be doing as much damage and you won't be as defensive and everything, so... So, yeah. Anyway. See how fast I took down that boss? Very nice. I'm gonna go to 10 more waves and then I'll end the video. You guys get the general gist of it, I guess. Come on, get out of there. Oh yeah, and I'm using Escandra's Balance. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. I might use Nemesis if I had one, but I don't, so I'm using Escandra's Balance for more cold damage, etc., etc. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. My brain is a little bit whoop-de-loop today. Damn things that all have cold reds, it's annoying. Anyway, we did good. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day, have a great night. And this is Hold My Game signing out. Next is Sharzul's World Eater build. The fire variant of this, I guess you would say. Bye guys.